for art.
Right.
Oh, he tagged him with that right hand, just threw him down. High kick.
Oh, O'Malley goes high. Now short uppercut, Tecco covers up.
That's
the
it.
Sugar Shot. Diamond in color.
Wow.
It couldn't have gone any better for Sean O'Malley.
Sugar O'Malley. The name echoes in the MMA world, and for good reason. The bantamweight sensation has taken the UFC by storm, quickly rising through the ranks to establish himself as a top contender. From humble beginnings to making waves in the world of MMA, O'Malley's journey is one that is worth following. In this video, we are going to take you through his early career, his rise to the top of the bantamweight division, and his dominance in the octagon. Get ready for an in-depth look at the fighter they call Sugar, and why he's quickly becoming one of the most talked about fighters in the sport. Early career. Sean O'Malley, also known as Sugar, began his mixed martial arts career in his home state of Montana. Training at the MMA lab in Glendale, Arizona under head trainer John Crouch and coached by longtime friend Tim Welch, O'Malley quickly made a name for himself in the MMA world. O'Malley's early career was marked by a string of impressive wins, fighting in his native Montana and later in North Dakota. He then transitioned to Legacy Fighting Alliance, where he scored a highlight reel knockout over David Nuzzo.
Now Nuzzo's been dropped 3 times. That is good night, Irene. That is freaking brilliant. How good is this kid? 7-0. My word, what technique.
I tell you what, he was looking for that highlight.
7-0, Sugar Sean O'Malley, and does so with style.
This win caught the attention of Dana White and earned O'Malley a spot on the second season of Dana White's Contender series. There he faced Alfred Kashakian and delivered a stunning first-round knockout, earning him a UFC contract and solidifying his place as a top prospect in the bantamweight division. UFC career. O'Malley's UFC debut came on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender series, where he faced Alfred Kashakian. From the start of the fight, O'Malley looked confident, throwing flashy kicks and exchanging strikes with Kashakian. Kashakian nearly knocked O'Malley down with an uppercut, but O'Malley quickly regained control of the fight, landing a devastating right hook that sent Kashakian to the ground. O'Malley followed up with a head kick and jumping knee, before landing a series of combinations that left Kashakian visibly fatigued. Kashakian desperately tried to take O'Malley down, but O'Malley defended each attempt and ultimately finished the fight with a crushing straight right that knocked Kashakian out cold.
Oh, that's it. That is it.
Welcome to the Sugar Show. This is my show.
Sean.
Impressed by O'Malley's performance, Dana White offered him a contract to fight on the Ultimate Fighter 26 final.
Sean O'Malley is that thing. I like this guy. He's the guy.
What was the difference maker between Sean and some of the other fighters that had good finishes?
If I look at their records, I look at everything.
His opponent was Tyrion Ware, who was a well-rounded fighter with a record of 17-6, and it was considered as O'Malley's toughest test. O'Malley dominated the first round, landing a lot of combinations while evading his opponent's strikes. However, as the fight progressed, O'Malley began to tire, but he still managed to dominate the fight and win by unanimous decision.
And still undefeated, Sugar Sean O'Malley!
How does it feel to get this reception in your UFC debut?
This is amazing. Oh my God, I'm speechless. We're just getting started, baby. We're just getting started.
O'Malley's next fight was against Andrew Sukanth on March 3, 2018 at UFC 222. Despite injuring his foot in the third round,
Might have a broken leg or broken foot.
O'Malley went on to win the fight by unanimous decision.
By unanimous decision, Sugar Sean
Taking this fight with me, nothing but respect. I love this game. I love the talk. I love the media, and I love everything about this sport. And I love you, Joe Rogan.
Well, I love you too, buddy.
Further solidifying his position as a top contender in the bantamweight division. Following this victory, he fought Jose Alberto Quinones at UFC 248. O'Malley started strong, throwing a head kick and landing punches to Quinones' head before the referee stepped in.
And still undefeated, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
It's hard to put into words. You can't really put it into words. It feels good.
Sean O'Malley, ladies and gentlemen.
I freaking love you, Joe Rogan.
I love you too, buddy.
With this, he extended his winning streak to 10-0. His next fight was against unranked veteran Eddie Wendland. The fight took place in a smaller octagon, which would reduce the amount of movement for O'Malley, favoring Wendland to close the distance. However, O'Malley used feints on the back foot to prevent Wendland from closing the distance. O'Malley landed kicks to Wendland's body and caught him with a signature right hand that caught Wendland instantly.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, he slapped him bad.
And he's still
Oh my goodness.
This win made O'Malley 4-0 in the UFC and a ranked fighter.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Well, good luck to you, sir. Congratulations on a truly spectacular performance.
Fucking love you, Joe Rogan.
I love you.
O'Malley's next fight was against Marlon Vera, known as Chico. Vera constantly backed O'Malley up, keeping him on the back foot, but this led to O'Malley landing multiple kicks to Vera's body. O'Malley kept falling over in the fight, which led people to believe that he had ruptured something in his leg. O'Malley caught Vera on the temple with a hook, but fell back onto the floor. At this point, it was clear that he had damaged a nerve. Vera started to land huge elbows to O'Malley's head, and the referee stepped in and stopped the fight.
Interesting stoppage.
Crazy stop.
It was quick.
I mean, it was quick. He was hurt though.
Congratulations.
Come down.
The Cheeto show, he says.
Stop. Hold on, wait a minute.
There's the injury, but there was also a big elbow by Vera.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Marlon Cheeto Vera.
It was later discovered that O'Malley suffered a lisfranc injury. O'Malley made his comeback a year later, fighting Thomas Almeida at UFC 260. Almeida was 0-3 going into this fight, which led many to believe that this would be a definite win for O'Malley despite his injury. In the first round, O'Malley caught Almeida with a heavy head kick that temporarily wobbled him, then knocked him down with the left hook. O'Malley thought the fight was over, but it wasn't. Almeida pressured O'Malley with kicks throughout the fight, but O'Malley continued to dominate, sweeping Almeida down to the ground in the third round before delivering a right overhand and stacked guard, knocking Almeida out instantly.
Holy smoke.
Wow.
This win made O'Malley 12-1 as a pro and 5-1 in the UFC.
Declaring the winner by knockout, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Well, you certainly did at the end.
I gotta prove a lot of stupid people that they're stupid. It was nice.
You showed improvements and you got that knockout that you wanted.
Fucking love you, Joe Rogan.
I love you too, Sean O'Malley.
Next, O'Malley faced UFC newcomer Chris Moutinho. This fight was a complete battering for 3 rounds. O'Malley was using his long leg kick to the body and was on the back foot during the first round, but he was able to use his Dominic Cruz-esque movement to avoid Moutinho's strikes and take no damage. O'Malley caught Moutinho with an uppercut hook, which knocked him down for the first time in the fight. O'Malley began to follow up with multiple strikes to Moutinho's head, throwing spinning kicks in the process. Going into the third round, O'Malley looked like he had no scratches on him, whereas Moutinho looked visibly hurt. With 30 seconds left of the third round, they both started swinging, but O'Malley was winning the exchanges, which led to Herb Dean jumping in to stop the fight.
He deserved to finish.
What?
He deserves to finish the fight.
I don't understand that. I really don't understand that.
But he took all those shots the whole time.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Sean, were you surprised at the stoppage?
He might not think that was a good stoppage, but it might have saved him a couple years on his life because I was about to put him out for good.
Sugar Sean O'Malley, ladies and gentlemen.
O'Malley's next fight was against Raulian Paiva on December 11, 2021 at UFC 269. Paiva was 21-3 as a pro and O'Malley was 14-1. This fight was assumed to be a stand-up battle, but it didn't last long. O'Malley backed off using his effective matrix-like movement. With 30 seconds left in the round, O'Malley hit Paiva with his signature overhand right, which knocked him down. and Pava began to swing wildly until O'Malley dropped him again. Jason Herzog jumped in and stopped the fight.
Sugar shot O'Malley in round 1.
Fantastic.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's one of the toughest guys I have fought. But when I land those big shots, I'm going to take you out, and that's what happened.
O'Malley's fought 9th-ranked bantamweight Pedro Munoz at UFC 276. This fight was more technical, O'Malley not looking to throw too many flashy kicks. O'Malley landed a straight right onto Pedro's eye, which caused massive discomfort for Pedro as he kept wiping his eye as it was swelling. O'Malley caught him with an accidental eye poke in the second round, which caused the fight to have a timeout. Pedro claimed he could not see out of his eye, so the fight was stopped and declared a no contest. The highly anticipated matchup between O'Malley and Petr Yan at UFC 280 had fans and fighters alike on the edge of their seat. Yan was landing the better shots on the feet, and although Yan was competitive there as well, the fight ended with O'Malley on top.
Yan instinctively shoots right after absorbing the head kick. 2.5 to go.
With 25 out of 26 media outlets scoring the fight for Yan, the result of the bout was seen as highly controversial. Despite the strong belief that Yan was the rightful winner,
That may be what saves him.
What a fight!
it was O'Malley who emerged victorious after a split decision.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
The result of this close and hard-fought match left fans wondering whether the right fighter had won. In conclusion, seeing O'Malley's rise to the top of the UFC bantamweight division has been nothing short of impressive. O'Malley has proven time and time again that he is a force to be reckoned with. His accuracy and striking abilities make him a well-rounded fighter, and his ability to finish fights has made him one of the most exciting fighters to watch. It's clear that O'Malley's journey to the top is far from over, and with his recent victory over Petr Yan, we can expect to see even more from Sugar in the future. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned more about seeing O'Malley's rise to the top. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching.
Again, the hesitation. Oh! He gets another highlight for the real Sean O'Malley.